Hello, my name is Antonio, and this is the commentary for the Scrapped series. So this is a series of videos that I made for a while, and it was basically just an excuse for me to work on videos that I kind of had like in the back burner per se for a while, or just videos that never really saw the light of day. I had a lot of videos like that for a while, and I still do, honestly. But I basically just wanted, I just wanted to have a series where I could show off some of those old scrapped projects and just some like leftover things that I had for them. There were certain projects that I would maintain that I could still realistically make them even like after sitting on them for a long time, like even like years. And an example of that is like the "If Horror Movies Could Hear You" video. I still felt like, even though I had originally filmed part of that video in 2019, that I could still realistically film the rest of it and post it in 2022, and it would come out fine. And I still maintain that opinion. But there were also a lot of videos, or just ideas for videos, or footage for videos that, or scripts even, that I had that I was like, I don't think I could realistically make this work in a modern setting. But if I'm talking about them in the context of sort of reflecting on the past, then it kind of makes more sense. And so that was my angle for this series, and so I made this series for a while. And early on, I had a lot of just footage and scripts for projects that I basically had accepted that I would never make. And so a lot of the early episodes of Scrapped were just kind of going back to those little bits and pieces of videos. Like the first episode, Saturday Funnies 2. Those were just a bunch of like it was just like literally like 6 skits, like very short skits that I intended to use for a theoretical sequel to Saturday Funnies, but I never did. And Saturday Funnies is still one of my favorite videos on my channel, even despite the fact that it's like 5 or 6 years old at the time that I'm recording this. But I still look back on it fondly, just because I still think there's a lot of watchability in it today. And so, I wanted to make a sequel to it. I wanted to just make another video where I just had a bunch of like short little skits, and I had a bunch of my friends in it and all that. I thought that would be really fun to make. And so I started filming Saturday Funnies 2 in the summer of 2018. And I had literally the entire script written for it, and I was ready to film it all. And then I just kind of didn't. I filmed like 6 skits for it, and then I never got around to filming the rest. And yeah, for a while the footage just kind of sat on my computer, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to use this. But it was perfectly fine footage. Like, I thought the skits were still decently okay and decently funny. And then I basically I had the idea. This was early in the year 2020, when I had a lot of time on my hands. And I was just like, you know what, this is the time to do it. So I edited together the skits, and I had a little intro, and I think mainly just an intro, but I had a little setup for the video, and I just posted it, and then that was kind of the catalyst for the future episodes of Scrapped. And I posted a lot of episodes of this series in 2020 specifically. Mainly because I just had a lot of ideas for it and a lot of things I wanted to do with it. And like, I had the tripod story documentary. That was footage that we filmed years ago in 2016. And I basically, I knew I wanted to do something with it eventually, just because I just thought the idea of it was just funny. Just this footage of Gregory and Andrew just walking around the track with a tripod for pretty much no reason. I was just like, yeah, fuck it, let's just use it for something. And so I thought it would be a perfect like April Fool's Day video to just like make like a fake documentary, and like play it off like I was trying to use it as a means of raising money or whatever. I don't know. I always liked the idea of doing like April Fool's videos. I always thought that was fun. But like I still think that it would have been way better if I actually found a way to extend the footage to like at least an hour. At the time I was editing on my phone, just purely on my phone, and I couldn't really realistically render a video longer than like half an hour. So I was okay just settling with 13 minutes. I was just like, yeah, maybe this will still be somewhat convincing. It's just a really short documentary or whatever. And so I ended up I might have extended the footage a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's mainly just it's just like it's just like one continuous clip of Andrew and Gregory walking around with this tripod while like kind of like emotional music plays, and that was enough for me. And I had like a little skit at the beginning and end of it, and that was just enough for me. And then the Yoshi's Island meme, that was just like a bunch of like little things that I had made on my phone, and potentially for a big video, but I just kind of made them and then never really did anything with them, and they were just kind of sitting on my phone, and I was just like, I'll put them out there, even though the meme's like a year old, and I did that. And like I said, like I was making a lot of episodes of this series, mainly because I didn't really have the means to record with my friends any like new footage besides like videos that we could film specifically from our houses, or nothing too elaborate. And so this was a really easy series for me to make because it just let me reuse all the footage that I already had. And so, but with the water gun episode, I mainly just I had this script for a while. I intended on making it with Gregory in like 2017, but we just never really got around to it. And I was just like, well, I mean, it's a perfectly fine script. I think I like rewrote like little bits and pieces of it, but I was just like, yeah, I might as well try to make it. And so I just made it with me as both characters, and I think it came out fine. I feel like around this time I was getting really tired of editing purely on my phone. Like I really wanted to get an editor on my laptop that I had at the time, but I kept on putting that off more and more, and I just continued to edit on my phone primarily for a really long time. But around that time, that is kind of when I decided to take a little bit of a break from YouTube, or I don't even know if I decided to, but I did just because I had less and less time because I had just started a new job, and I wanted to hang out with my friends more because things were clearing up a little bit, and I was devout of social interaction and all that fun stuff. So I kind of stopped making videos for a little bit, but then I picked it back up with the most cursed Sprite Cranberry review ever. That video during the 12 days of Toniverse. I remember we filmed that in late 2017, and that footage, like I've been saying, that footage just sat on my computer, just waiting to be used. And I was just like, what would be really fun is like getting on a call with Donovan and Dean and reviewing the footage, just like watching it with them and talking about it. And yeah, and that was probably one of the more fun episodes to do, just because I was able to do it with my friends. And the footage is very weird, and it was fun to be reacting to it with my friends because I knew I didn't want to just upload it as a video with no sort of context behind it at all. I mean, like obviously I would have given context even if it was just me, but I figured it would be more fun to have Donovan and Dean there too. And then after that, I did the Snow is Awesome video, which I still really like. Just overall, just the choppiness of that. I mean, like this was a video that I had the idea for so long ago, and it was meant to be a cartoon, but it kind of got to the point where it was like, well, I can't really animate, and talent's not really available. So I was just like, let's just do like a freaking storyboard, and we'll have Brennan record the audio for the other character that would have been Talon. And I think it came out decently, and actually, I remember Brendan specifically texting me like, that video came out better than I thought it was going to, and I was just like, I mean, hey, thank you, I appreciate that, because it was really meant. It was, these videos, generally speaking, they're not really meant to be like super high effort. They're just kind of meant to be like more like retrospective. Let's look at my previous works type of fun video like that. Uh, and then we did the Lost parody of Sweatshirt, reacting to our Lost parody of Sweatshirt by Jacob Sartorius, and I actually did that with Talon, and that was really fun just because I hadn't really done a video with Talon in so long, and it was just fun to very similar to the Sprite Cranberry video. It was very fun to just go back with a friend and look at all this old footage and just talk about it and review it, and the fact that I actually got to pull up like the song that I made, like the parody Sweatshirt song that I actually recorded lyrics for all that time ago, and just talk about that was really fun. And then for a while, that was kind of the last episode that I made. But then Later on during 2021, I found a bunch of old footage of videos that I made when I was like literally in middle school. And I was like, man, these are some of these are like really absurd, but some of these I feel like could make for an interesting sort of like retrospective or just the video to just show off to to my viewers. I was just like, this is just so absurd. So I was very selective with the videos that I wanted to actually make episodes about, but then I had like this whole idea to do scrapped archives, like this sub series of these scrapped videos, where I just talked about all these archival videos that I made when I was in like middle school in like 2015 and all that. And because some of these are just absurd, because these are obviously when I was just recording these off the cuff and didn't make scripts, and I just had like a general idea of how I wanted the video to go, and then I just ran with that. And so these were fun to do, but I kind of like throughout the time that I was making these, I kind of just realized like I don't know if these are the best videos to be putting out. Like they're fun to make and they're fun to like look back at all this footage, but there's only so many times that I can be like, oh, look at this weird thing that I did when I was 13 years old. That's not even that young, and it's kind of embarrassing, but. Regardless, yeah, it kind of got to the point where I was like, I'm kind of done making this series. So kind of without any notice, I kind of just stopped. I mean, I kind of figured like if I had a really good idea for a scrapped episode, I would continue to make this series and make another episode. But I kind of just fell off of it, and I was okay with that. I was like, you know what? I think this series, I've exhausted enough of this series. And this especially when I kind of had I kind of had a change in perspective and how I wanted to be making my content. So I kind of just was like, I think we're just gonna end the scrapped series. So basically, what I'm saying is the series is basically done. I don't really intend on making any more episodes of this series for the foreseeable future. Obviously there's 11 episodes that you can watch to your heart's content. And I think that they're perfectly fine videos. But yeah, overall, I'm kind of just interested in doing other things, and I think that that's respectable, and I hope people are excited for those things. But yeah, I mean, overall, like the takeaway from this series is that it is fun to sometimes look at your older work and see what you can do or what you've done to improve, and just how far you've come. And so yeah, that's overall the message that I tried to convey with this series, and I think it worked to an extent. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Scrapped series. So I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.